Have you ever felt older than everyone else, even when you were a kid? Like you were the mature one, the responsible one, the one who didn't cause problems. Maybe you were the child adults could rely on, the one who stayed quiet, who handled things on your own. And now, as an adult, you don't really know how to relax. You don't know how to need people. If that feels familiar, there's something important you should know.
There are two kinds of people who grow up too fast. The first kind becomes strong on the outside, independent, capable, always put together. The second looks similar, but inside they feel tired, disconnected, almost like they skipped a part of life. And here's the twist. Both of them learned the same lesson early on. It's not safe to be a child. Psychologists sometimes call this parentification, a term first studied deeply by family therapist Ivan Bozormenyi-Nagy. It happens when a child takes on adult emotional or practical responsibilities. Maybe you had to comfort a parent. Maybe you were the peacekeeper during fights. Maybe you learned not to cry because someone else already had too much to handle. You didn't choose to grow up fast. You adapted. And children are incredibly good at adapting. But adaptation has a cost. Let's compare two emotional patterns. One person grows up too fast and becomes hyper-independent. They don't ask for help. They solve everything alone. They feel uncomfortable when someone tries to take care of them. Another person grows up too fast and becomes hyper-aware. They read every shift in someone's mood. They anticipate problems. They feel responsible for everyone's emotions. On the outside, both look mature, but inside, they're still carrying something unfinished. Because childhood isn't just about fun. It's about learning that you're allowed to be messy, allowed to be protected, allowed to make mistakes without the world collapsing. When that space doesn't exist, you become the stable one, and stability feels safe until one day it feels lonely. Research on childhood stress, including work inspired by John Bowlby, shows that early emotional environments shape how we attach to others later in life. If love felt unpredictable, you might now overfunction in relationships. If attention only came when you were useful, you might now struggle to just be. And here's something most people don't talk about. When you grow up too fast, your body grows up in survival mode. Your nervous system learns to stay alert, even in calm moments. You might notice tight shoulders, shallow breathing, a jaw that's always slightly clenched. You're not dramatic. Your body simply never got the message that it was safe to relax. Chronic stress in childhood can keep the nervous system in a constant state of on. Not panic, just low-level readiness. Ready to fix, ready to respond, ready to step in. Over time, that shows up emotionally. You struggle to receive love. You feel guilty resting. You feel anxious when things are too quiet. Socially, it can create strange patterns. You might attract people who need saving, or people who lean on you heavily, or you might avoid deep relationships altogether, because letting someone see your needs feels foreign. And physically, fatigue becomes normal. Headaches, digestive issues, sleep that never feels deep enough. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your body never got to downshift during the years it was still wiring itself.
Here's the part that hurts the most. Growing up too fast often means you were praised for it. You're so mature. You're not like other kids. You're so strong. And you learned that love comes from being strong, not from being soft. So now, when life gets overwhelming, you double down. You don't fall apart. You tighten up. You handle it. But inside, there's sometimes a quiet grief for a childhood you don't fully remember, or one you remember too clearly.
The good news is this. Growing up too fast shaped you, but it doesn't have to define you. You don't need to swing to the other extreme. You don't need to become reckless or abandon responsibility. This isn't about blaming your parents or rewriting your entire story. It's about slowly teaching your nervous system something new. That it's safe to rest. Safe to say, I don't know. Safe to let someone else handle it sometimes. You can start small. Notice when you jump in to fix something that isn't yours. Notice when you apologize for having normal needs. Notice when your body tenses and instead of pushing through, take one slower breath. That breath isn't weak, it's corrective. You're not trying to become a different person. You're trying to become a more complete one. Strength plus softness, capability plus vulnerability. The child in you didn't disappear, they just adapted early. And sometimes healing isn't dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as letting yourself enjoy something without earning it first. If this resonated with you, you're not alone. A lot more people grew up too fast than we talk about. And conversations like this are why this channel exists. At Mind About People, we explore the quiet, emotional patterns that shape who we become. Not to judge them, but to understand them. If this video felt like it put words to something you've carried for a long time, you're welcome here. You can subscribe if you'd like to keep exploring these ideas with us. No pressure, just space to think, reflect, and grow at your own pace. And maybe to finally slow down.